Welcome to HeroQuestFans, and welcome Bohemyus. Seems we can't go a day without a bunch of photos coming out of this international game festival about against the Ogre Horde. But here we are, getting ready to play Rise of the Dread Moon. We'll be starting a brand new quest, so call for heroes. We've got at least one. We've got a wizard tonight, master of the alchemical arts. And who else will show up tonight? Who knows? Well, Bohemius, what do you think?
On what?
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, about the recent. Well, there have been a couple things we've learned so far. So there is an Ogre Mercenary in against the Ogre Horde, and a photo was just posted showing the stats. Now, I suppose you could maybe debate whether, is that like a mercenary for the good guys or a mercenary for the bad guys? But it appears to have some text that we can't read. It's too small. It looks like we're thinking it says cost and then ellipsis points or dots and then some type of notation about how much it costs to hire them. But that's something.
I see that photo, but I missed the conversation. Are we sure there is not like a special ability of the monster?
So I was just talking about the Cannes Festival. The Ogre Mercenary. Yeah, it's true that you do have those cards that show. Oh, I should put it on the screen, shouldn't I? You have those cards that show like the special ability of a monster, just putting some text underneath. But you don't usually see like ... or what we call ellipsis points. I don't know what the word would be in other languages, but yeah, it's like starting weapon or cost or something of that sort, indicating like it's a heroic character. On the other hand, you do have like the evil mercenaries in Frozen Horror, who are both considered a monster and have a gold value to hire, cost to hire.
So, sure.
Kind of my thought there with that. It could serve both purposes. So maybe you fight them, but you also have a chance to hire them if you wish.
Maybe hire them in the arena.
Ah, yeah. You need allies. I'm trying to find the right picture here. I know we could spend the whole time talking about this too, rather than actually playing. But just want to get the picture. Joe is sharing it. Not Joe Kosher, the other Joe, J-O, in the Strange Bus. I get it. They were sharing it. So it's like from Instagram, and somebody on Facebook was sharing the Instagram photos, and then someone in the Discord was sharing the Facebook photos. So it just goes down the rabbit hole of sharing. Huh. Now I can't seem to find it. That's weird. There was another picture of the Dread Mentalist abilities, the Mind Lock or whatever, next to treasure cards, equipment cards, artifact cards, and spell cards. But I noticed that they had like the Earth spells, so it's like, okay, I think they're probably just taking the game system cards and just comparing them. They're not necessarily saying, hey, all these are included as well in the box. Because then you'd have way too many cards for the card counts they were giving us.
But they need to do demos, so they need all the other cards.
Precisely. They've got to mix those in. Because they can only pose it so many ways before someone's like, well, can't I just play it? Let's play. What's the holdup? Let's see here. Is this? Nope, that's not the one. Okay, here we go, finally. Let's see if I can blow it up. Yeah, that line, blow me to Bermuda, that's from The Sword in the Stone animated movie from the 60s. Okay. You probably still can't quite make out what that is. But you see how there's a word there, which might start with C? And then there's ellipsis points, and then there's some text here. So 8 movement, which people were speculating, again, so much movement so they can keep up with the heroes. Maybe like an average movement kind of thing. 4 attack, 4 defense, 4 body, and 1 mind.
Yeah, this is the fast ogre, right?
Very fast. Well, yeah, considering the
No,
others
but even he's even called mercenary. Look at the name of the card.
Yeah, mercenary. And yet,
so
I'm forgetting my battle master.
He's even called mercenary. I mean,
yeah,
there's not much doubt on that.
Yeah, he is a mercenary. But the question is, in battle masters, isn't the ogre called something? Is he called an ogre mercenary? Or am I misremembering that?
I don't remember.
Because I was thinking maybe
anyway
they might call him that because he's been hired by the Ogre King for additional forces. Maybe you could throw that, but I think this is pretty clear. Otherwise, that he could be a mercenary for you if you can afford him. Do you pay him in grog? Or do you pay him in gold?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, because the way it works in the Frozen Horror is when the map calls for Zargon to put out like an evil mercenary, he goes for it. But if there aren't any of that figure available, he can pick a monster of similar strength. So that's because you've only got 4 of these figures, and maybe they limit how many you can hire. Like say, you can only hire 1 or whatever. That'd be easy to do. And the range, I think I said this before, but the ranged monsters. See, there's the wolf card, but we can't really read it very well. Those numbers. Somebody's gonna adjust the brightness so we can figure that out. Looks kind of like
the wolf card, really. Anyway, now you can see that it's printed like a monster. You see the value of the movement.
Yep.
So,
but it's so bright you can't see if there's any writing below it that says.
No, but
it's probably just a monster.
I mean, that square, the container, the number is at the very bottom of the card. So I don't think there's space for writing.
On the other hand,
or I'm wrong.
Well, on the other hand, it looks like the flash of the camera has hit it, so it's so bright you can't really tell.
Yeah, it's really cursed, that card, because they took so many photos. And
yeah,
they never. I don't know.
It's big.
It looked like nobody playing the game went there to do some photos, because really the detail we're searching the most, they're not in the photos.
Conspiracy time. So the shapeshift card is right above it, right next to it, and the druid, it's all arranged like this. Maybe.
Yeah.
Xerxes, hey, and Wardicon, thank you for the grog. Yeah. Xerxes says, I'll say it will be a companion for those druids on a single quest in the book, since we have no idea what's in the book. Oh, I just remembered there was a picture. Again, assuming people aren't just playing around with
no single quest. Okay, there we have a confirmation. The 3 new quests are different scenarios for the arena.
Yeah, rather than a traditional solo quest.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's just you've got the arena tile, the 8x9.
Couple of maybe to enter the city of the ogre, we need to win first the tournament to. I don't know.
the ogre king is hosting the tournament, so if we can win the tournament, we'll get close enough to assassinate him or convince him of the error of his ways. And he's like,
we have the excuse to enter in the tournament in the last arena. Okay, we need to win.
That would be a dramatic scene. So you're like, listen, you just heard of this plot. Zargon is going to try to influence you to join the evil side, and And he's like, the hour is later than you think, Gandalf the Grey. I mean, and then he slams the door. You're like, no. He's like, clap him in irons.
But then again, it's like to me a connection to the path of the wandering monk, because he need to, in his map, he's going around this area of the world.
Yeah, he's trying
maybe
to warn him.
Exactly arena to from arena to arena. Okay, every arena is a step. They need to arrive to the final arena. That is the one at the end. In the mountain. How is called now? The World's End?
Yeah, the World's End instead of the World's Edge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
The edge could be the end of something. It'll be the end of you if you fall off. Yeah, so there he is on his dark throne, and he's saying, guards, seize these ruffians. They're trying to overthrow my kingdom. But
basically, there's the wolf there in the middle.
Yeah. So this is a change. Now, okay, is this just them playing with toys to make cool pictures? Because both the druids are in there at the same time, and the wolf.
And also that door is weird. The placement of that stone door.
That should be open. Yeah. According to the rules, you replace it with an open door once it's been forced open. Unless in the arena it's slammed shut on you or something. Maybe you can't leave until you've killed all the monsters. So this might be just something posed. Okay, this is a new looking room. So this must be the reverse side of either the carpeted room or the eyeball room. Just looks like some debris on the floor.
Yeah,
like an
you can see also in the corner of the same tile, the little tile with the potions.
Yep.
Shield, like
yeah. What is it?
It was Joe that said.
Yeah, extra defense.
It could be like a drop for the arena.
A little power up. Does it?
Power ups.
Only lasts within. So can the monsters run over it and get the power up before you get it, or is it just for you?
I think so. I mean, maybe it's something you had to use instantly, so it's not convenient to catch it. Okay, because we see another exactly the photo I post with the description of the quest. A photo of the same arena with the power up upside down, flipped in the to the other side, so you cannot know which power up is on the ground until you discover it or you start the fight. I don't know how could be the rule.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
A lot of things, but yeah, it's just more little clues. They're just kind of like dropping on us. So the people there must know, but maybe they were sworn to silence or something. They can't say it, or there's a language barrier, and we're just getting it slowly. So yeah, this was the picture that we saw.
Yeah. You see, there's like treasure chests. There's tiles flipped upside down. So.
Just looks like some sand or
we
something.
don't know. They look like cracks in the ground. You're going to dig in the arena to find the power ups.
Diggy hole, like the meme people were posting about the dwarf. diggy hole. Okay, so, or is that like you pull on the chain and it lifts up the tile and there's something underneath, and some potions I found, some whatever.
Yeah.
Usually items you pick up in HeroQuest are invisible. You just say, "Oh, I'm picking this up." Okay, you've got it. You just use your imagination. Okay, so right there you can see the seams of the piece. And if you had just shown this to me, I would have thought this portcullis, of course, they just glued it, glued the two pieces together. But then we actually do finally have a photo where it's very clear that they've just raised up the I think the conference goes for one more day, so maybe tomorrow they'll have even more little things. But as people were saying, there it is. There isn't much else that we haven't seen other than the inside of the quest book. See, there it is. We haven't seen the inside of the quest book. We don't know quite these mechanics. We're just kind of guessing based on what little comments people have made and shown.
Yeah, probably for other format I got a friend that works in Wizard of the Coast for Magic the Gathering, and he just updated his Facebook. He's in Cannes for for the weekend, so they have other stuff than not only HeroQuest. They're
This is what we focus on. Yeah, I don't know, that wolf, it almost looks like 10, I'm gonna guess 10 movement, 5 attack. Can't really tell how many defense. 2? 2 seems pretty low. And then can't really tell the rest. We haven't seen the order form to order. Wallet is burning. Well, people were saying they were taking orders at the can. So they forget all this pre-order stuff. People were just ordering it. Were people buying it and taking it home? Because if so, well, our unboxing should be soon. Of course.
yeah, but
you always get people.
use the fridge first.
Yeah, but you'll always get people. We assume it's exactly the same, just translated. You'll always get people who will they'll open up the box, they'll say, "Hey, look at all this cool plastic," and then it's like done. It's like no, we go beyond that. We want to see page 1 compare to the 1990 version. What has changed, other than what you see before you. Because it sounds like they are feeling free to change things. They're not just going to keep everything the same as it was, as in like the Frozen Horror. Little by little, they're feeling free to change things. But it sounds like they're basing it on community feedback, because I do remember a lot of people, at least online in English, saying, well, I prefer if they had fixed body points. I would rather they used cards instead of tokens. So maybe they felt that was permission for them to do that. They wouldn't upset too many fans if they made that change as well.
I don't remember how we play it. Okay, but is also with token is weird because what happened with the token? You use the tokens, I mean that you cannot cast the same spell, right? After you use all the tokens in your hand.
Yep, you've used up instances of that spell.
They're used. Okay, but what happened when you put the token to, for example, by what is the mind control? Okay, there is a certain amount of turns. So I roll, we roll, and I use 4 of my token. I have 1 left in my hand. I can use it again.
Yeah, it's like
it's weird.
Is it duration now or instance?
So I lose a 3 cast of my mind control. I don't know. I don't remember how we used to play it. That I played just once some quest, and I don't remember. Yeah. So many years ago.
But I have heard people bring up that same caveat to say, well, it's not a perfect system because, yeah, in the case of that one spell that has a duration, does it reset, or do you just, if it took me that long to succeed with the spell, well, it's just going to be short-lived.
Yeah, you can block somebody for 4 turns and somebody else for 1 turn because you have 5 tokens in total. That's my point. I don't know if you have 5 single different casts, because if you want to do a psionic attack, I don't remember the one that just do damage, you can use it 5 times in a row.
Mind blast. Which is different than the Mind Blast in Frozen Horror, so you could call it something else if you want to, because they have tried to rename things, so you're not confused.
Yeah, that's why I think there are only 4 the cards, but I could be wrong. Okay, because with the cards, without using the tokens, using them as tokens, you have multiple casts that you can do. It becomes stronger. 5 casts, probably. You see in the right corner, the porthole is open.
Or maybe you use the spell once, it's upright, and then you turn it to the side, and then you use it again, you flip it upside down, and then you turn it to the other side, so it's like each time you turn it, it's a use.
Yeah.
You could do...
I don't want to give spoilers, okay, because I mean, this depends on the strength of the caster. Correct. They have different amount of these cards, right?
That's right, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because there's various, shall we say, lower tier sorcerers besides Festral, uh, who is the one supposedly trying to corrupt or guide or whatever, empower the ogres. So I guess all those
Yeah.
predictions about ogre shamans have not come to pass. But I wouldn't say no to that definitively, because remember, the quest book can have any notes that they want to put in there that are not necessarily on the cards. So they could still, if they wished, have
I don't
totally
want to give
unique abilities.
spoilers because I read recently the book because I went there, so
Oh yeah, that's okay.
I
That's
would not
okay.
say anything.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna spoil the whole thing. Well, I mean, you know me, like when I play it, I always have to balance the nostalgia that people are expecting to see with the newness of the adventure where I'm gonna like remix things. So it feels like the old adventure, but it's not exactly, so you're not cheating. I have had people that they're just following along while we play, they're following along in the quest book. It's like, okay, well, as long as you're not blabbing it to the chat, I guess I don't mind. I'm just gonna change it anyway. Let's see. I think we've seen most of the. There's very little in these pictures that's new that we can actually make out, but it is nice to see them from every single angle. A bunch of shiny plastic. Yeah, I'm gonna spray paint mine. These big guys are gonna be dark blue, and then I'm gonna make the smaller ogres red. I know not everybody would agree with that, but to try to match more of the color scheme of the original version.
Um, I mean, you can paint the way you want. I
Right.
imagine I had a friend. I had a friend in the past that he didn't like to paint the miniature, even for other games, skirmish games, and he paint them like stone, all stone. They look like carved in stone,
That's kind of
completely
cool.
carved. So no detail, nothing. They
Like
just look
a
like pieces of stone
like a
sculpted. They're beautiful.
yeah, like a
But
stone chest.
yeah, everybody have his own style of
Yeah.
painting.
I guess yeah, back in the day I was not a painter for sure on this sort of thing. So to me it was just they were just all just solid color. And so I guess in a way I'm like experiencing that first and I figure, well, I paint them one color and if I want to paint more details on that later, I can easily do so. I've got the base coat already.
Look, I paint miniatures, okay, but I didn't touch the miniature of HeroQuest. I like them plastic. I wanted to be like a piece of how you say a piece of the board, okay, something
Hmm.
different. Okay, the plastic should be enough. I mean, for me, it's a board game. Okay,
Yeah, that's what board games look
HeroQuest.
like. Yeah.
If I wanted to paint it, maybe I'm going to buy in future maybe a
Ah,
second box,
see.
okay, and paint it. But I want to keep my pieces all original, all not painted,
Hmm.
or like you do, okay, just the color you want it.
Hmm. Yeah. I think there's plenty of respect for that around the community. And I'm with you, and I'm sure Hasbro will not object if you buy more than one copy of their product. I think they'll be quite happy with that.
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah. So, all right. Well, with all that said, let's see how we're doing hero-wise. Ah, Joe is here. Didn't see you there. Welcome. And we've got Jacer. So, are all three of you going to be heroes tonight, or are you just here for the discussion?
Jason.
I think you all agreed.
Jason is going to be the
Okay.
dwarf for sure.
Yes, I would definitely go with hero.
It's going to be the Ogre Mercenary. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So Jacer will be the dwarf. We've got a monk and a barbarian and an elf, if anybody wants to take those. I think we can. So we're done with our Against the Ogre Horde discussion, unless, Joe, you had something to add. Thank you for posting those images, by the way.